that could possibly help a lot of people starting today, right now. So here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. My name is Gardy. Right now it is 8:56 on a Friday, and I woke up this morning, went outside, and I didn't realize that it was going to be cold. So I walked right back inside. I grabbed a little jacket, and then I walked back out again. So if you haven't left your house yet, you may want to check the weather app on your phone and adjust accordingly. So I have some guests in studio. I'm going to let them introduce themselves and then share the organization that they are with.
Hi, I am Taylor Adams. I am the Deputy Director at the Resource and Crisis Center of Galveston County.
Hi, and I'm Jessica Martinez, and I'm Director of Retail Operations for the Resource and Crisis Center of Galveston County.
Okay, so if someone has never heard of the Resource and Crisis Center of Galveston County, what do y'all do?
So we are a nonprofit agency, and we work with victims and survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. So we provide a ton of services from therapy, legal advocacy, medical accompaniment, all the way to outreach and prevention in the community, and then our lovely resale stores as well.
Okay, and so with the resale store, how does that work? Because I know there's one. It's maybe
Literally a hop, skip, and a jump.
it's right there. Like if I got in the car, I probably should have just walked. So there's one in Lamarck. What goes on in the stores?
So we have 4 stores: 2 in Galveston, 1 Lamarck, 1 Lake City. And it's a really nice relationship between the retail side, and the shelter side, as I like to say, kind of informally. But all of our stores are 100% donation driven. And so everything that you see and buy at our stores has been donated either by other organizations or mainly individuals. And with, obviously, we sell them at a really, really, really accessible price point for everyone. And we have new items out daily, all day long, so you can come in every day, see something new. But with the revenue from the sales of these items, we are able to help the organization with a lot of the operational day-to-day expenses that are not covered by grants, as well as, of course, funding our staff, in their pay. So,
Okay, Taylor, could you kind of go through that mission statement for the Resource and Crisis Center? Because I think of crisis, that's an emergency. What do you guys help with one more time?
So we provide support to victims and survivors of domestic violence, sexual assault, and human trafficking. And yes, crisis definitely means right away help. So we do offer that. We have a 24-hour hotline, 919-888-SAFE, which I think is 7233 if you spell it out on your phone. 919-888.
919.
We flipped
888-919. I haven't finished my coffee yet. So yes, we do have the 24-hour hotline. So people who are in a jam right at that moment can come in or can call in, and they can have someone available 24 hours to talk them through it, to let them know if we have space available in our emergency shelter. We have the ability to house about 50 to 55 women and families. Someone who is not necessarily in crisis is also welcome to access our services. So say something happened to you when you were like 8 years old. Maybe you experienced, some domestic violence in the home, and you are now 55, and you're like, you know what? I am ready to talk about this. I'm ready to reach out, get some help, get some therapy, see what's going on. You are absolutely welcome to access our services. All of them are free. No costs to our clients. So that's one of the wonderful things about the resale stores happening. Our lovely federal grants, our individual donors. So all of this is accessible to anyone in Galveston County.
So earlier, before we went on air, we were talking about pets and living in different places, big dogs, small dogs, cats. And y'all can let me know if this is true, because I had a conversation with someone one time, and they said people that may be in abusive situations sometimes don't leave because of pets. They sometimes don't leave because of kids, because they think maybe I don't have anywhere to go, and what about my pet?
Absolutely.
That's like my family. Is that true? And is there something y'all can do to help if they have pets?
That is absolutely true. And we are partnered with a wonderful program called Red Rover, and they actually help our clients with boarding their pets so that they can come into shelter, or right now they could go into a hotel because of COVID. Things had to change just a little bit.
Yes.
But no, we do have a lot of wonderful programs that help that, because yeah, you're absolutely right. Pets are family, and you don't want to leave that pet behind. And we have had a lot of people who say, I'm scared to leave. I can't come in. What about my dog? And we're like, well, we have Red Rover, so let's talk more about this. And we do everything that we can to keep the whole family safe.
What have y'all seen during 2020? It's been an interesting year. A lot of people weren't allowed to work anymore, maybe spending more time at home. What does that do for, RCC, the Resource and Crisis Center, and then for people that are in bad situations?
So I think as a whole, most of the other people in this field that I've spoken to, they've seen a rise in violence since people were stuck in their houses, not able to get out. A lot of hotlines did see an increase in phone calls. One of the things we did see is we had less people seeking shelter, and I think it was more out of fear of COVID and being in a small confined space. It was both ends. So we had a rise in violence, but then we had less people reaching out. And then I know that our shelter, and I'm assuming a couple in our area, we actually had to limit the amount of people that we brought in. So family units can come in, the same as they say, stay with your family during this. But as far as social distancing, if, say, we had a room that normally houses 4 singles, we needed to cut that down to 2 and then leave space for, potential quarantine needs.
Yes. Jessica, what about the resale stores that y'all have? Were y'all allowed to be open the entire time? Did y'all have to close for a bit or change some rules?
We did. We actually closed for almost 2 months. It was about 7 weeks, which is a huge impact for the organization financially because we do, we get revenue from the stores that help our programs and organization overall. But that was probably the hardest hit, was closing the stores. Thankfully, we were able to keep our staff employed, make sure that they got, a paycheck. We really were trying to look out for them. But we were thankfully able to open up in May, and we're back to Monday through Saturday. But we have seen, everyone's cleaning out during COVID. So we saw a huge influx like never before of donations, which is wonderful. But, because of COVID, we had, we lost a lot of volunteers. There's a natural concern for, your health and safety. So although we are practicing, strict, cleanliness and safety and health protocols at every store, but, you're left to do more work than maybe that you've had to do pre-COVID just because of, less helpers, less volunteers. We lost few employees, so but overall I think we're trickling back up to pre.
What kind of things can people donate? I just went through my closet and took about 40 t-shirts that were ranging back from the 4th grade, because if I kept them that long, I was like, I might as well. But my wife was like, let's do a t-shirt quilt. I said, that's a great idea. But there's a bunch of stuff I'm cleaning out. What kind of things do y'all accept as donations?
We, someone just asked me this yesterday, and I said pretty much anything and everything. And if you had a question about it, I would say if it's not something you would want your child to find in your home, then keep it. Otherwise, we will take it because there's value in everything, and there's always a buyer for everything. We take furniture, appliances. We have a store in Galveston that specifically, it's the RCC Home Store on 23rd Street, and it's furniture, large appliances, and office, tables, desks, and stuff like that. And then all the other stores are a little bit of furniture, and then mainly clothing, shoes, accessories, jewelry, books, entertainment things, but pretty much anything and everything that is not trash is sellable or has, funky, some really cool antiques, it's comic books. We get everything, and it's really fun to go through it all.
Cool. When I was on y'all's website earlier, what is the website, by the way?
I can do this correct. Not like the phone number.
A little early.
It is rccgc.org.
So I was on the website, and I scrolled to the bottom. There's a couple things that are really cool about the website. But I saw the United Way Galveston County Mainland on there, and I saw Galveston, the United Way Galveston. Y'all are partnering an agency?
Absolutely. We're a United Way partnering agency. Such a wonderful organization. Always available when we have questions, need assistance. We really, really enjoy them.
Was that yesterday? No, it was on Wednesday. I believe I was talking to the Ada Women's but they're partnering. Is it Ada's Women's Center?
Yep.
Yes, and they are a partnering agency with the United Way as well. But they were sharing that due to some funding, they lost $300,000. $300,000 in funding. So their funding for a year got cut in half right off the bat. And that's from, the top I think it was a government thing, and it's something out of their control. But how about with you guys? I mean, y'all get funding from, I'm sure, like people and the stores and, partnering with the United Way. Is everything going okay, or has it been tough this year?
I mean, right now, yes, but that's always a concern being a nonprofit. Sometimes the money just isn't there. I do think, I can't really speak to our grant funders. It's not really time for that yet.
Mm-hmm.
But I think individual donors, we have a lot of really good families that tend to be regular donors to us. But with COVID, everyone's a little strapped right now. Things are different. And so we're kind of just waiting to see and roll with the punches. However it comes in, no matter what, we're gonna push through and do what we can for our clients.
How can people donate? Obviously, they can donate to the store, any of the items, but can they donate money? Can they donate their time?
Absolutely. We have wonderful buttons right there on that website that say donate. So you can give a monetary donation. You can come to our main campus at 1204 45th Street. Drop off, a check. We love that. That's so nice. Otherwise, we also accept volunteers. We accept volunteers year-round. We're just starting to trickle back in and have people allowed back on campus very slowly, social distanced. But that's something else you can do. You can volunteer as a group if you have a church group. We have a lot of med students and their groups that volunteer for us. Or you can volunteer as an individual. We just ask that you go through some pretty intensive training so that you understand the nature of our work. And then from there, you can use whatever skills you have. If you want to work with clients, awesome. If you just want to sit in the back and do some accounting, you're really good at math, bring it on.
Taylor, actually both of you said that y'all grew up in Galveston for some time, moved here whenever you were young and ended up back over here. What drew you towards working with RCC? Like, how did you end up plugged into this organization?
So I got my master's in social work when I was in New York at NYU, and one of the things that I went specifically for was to work with victims of sexual assault, which obviously grew into domestic violence because they all kind of go hand in hand. And I worked a few different places when I first moved back to Galveston, but RCC was just kind of, it's right there where my heart is. This is where I want to be. This is the work I want to do. It's extremely fulfilling.
And what about you?
Well, my background, I have a bachelor's in legal studies, and for the longest time, I thought I wanted to be an attorney. However, I had several twists and turns and decided that wasn't for me. But I tend to navigate to jobs that deal with children. I'd worked for universities, had a lot of student workers. I enjoyed helping them and the families and getting through college. And then I'd worked in multiple years in nonprofit, managing school programs, and so it was kind of a natural progression, and I also like, relationship building and being out in the public. So the position kind of fell in my lap, and I was a little unsure that I could do it at first, but I love it, and it's fulfilling because you see the impact every day of what you do. So it's, I'm glad to be here.
That's awesome. You mentioned wanting, about being an attorney, like thinking about that. I always think about that too, because I'll watch some of the TV shows and it looks like it's so much fun and it's like, oh, they got him, but then I like research. I'm like, it's how much school? How much money does it cost? I'm like, nah, maybe one of my kids, like, but yeah, it's really interesting to see how people and their stories like intertwine, and with you two working together, growing up in Galveston. You said you moved here when you were really young and
elementary school.
And elementary, and then
Me too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM.
Radio.
All right, so we're still live on social media.
Okay.
We're still live on YouTube and everywhere else, right? But we're off the FM. So, y'all feeling good?
Good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Is there anything else that we definitely want to talk about when we go back on the FM? I need to put, what's the website one more time, because I'll type it in the comments right here.
rccgc.org.
So rccgc.org, and you can go to that website and donate or find out more information, send an email or a message, and just get plugged in or donate. So it's very important. And then that phone number again is 888-919-SAFE, and you can call that right now. And is it 24 hours? Someone pick up?
24 hours. There's always someone there to answer.
Awesome. Cool. Yeah. So we'll play this song, and then we can go back and remind people pretty much how they can get involved or go donate or go browse the store, I guess, and purchase, because that's another way of supporting as well, right?
Yes.
We could probably go into a little more about the specific services that we do provide.
Okay.
Just so people are aware, because I don't think they realize like the magnitude of everything that we can do for our survivors.
How many are there?
How many services?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we get through them all.
So we have a therapy department, we have a legal department, we have a crisis intervention specialist, which is our medical accompaniment. We have case managers for both residential and non-residential clients. We have advocates for adults and for children. I think that's it on our client services side. Then we have an outreach and prevention department that goes out into the community, teaches, presents.
Like awareness?
Awareness and prevention. Of course, we have a fully functioning administrative staff that keeps us in line with billing and grants or grant development. It's a big operation.
Yeah, that's a lot. I was trying to write as fast, because I got a new notebook, and so I was trying to keep it neat, and I was like, well, there that goes. I'm like, I'm going to write, writing really slow. I'm like, okay.
Put my $5 to good use. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited. I'm excited to fill this book up. That's what I love. I love, like, sometimes going back and looking at my notes, and because you remember bits and pieces of everything that, and then I'm like, someone had told me about the pets. Like, hey, a lot of times in situations, people don't want to leave because they're worried about their pets. And I can't remember who in the world told me that, but I was like, that makes sense. My sister has 2 very big dogs, and they are like her babies. And now she has a baby, and so now she has 3. So it's like I have a 7-month-old baby, and then her two dogs, and there's no way that she, she would never go anywhere without them.
Right.
So. Yes, my wife's watching. Hey, good morning, Jennifer. She said, the new notebook. I told her yesterday. That was the whole dilemma. I was like, I think I'm going to go drop off my T-shirts for the T-shirt quilt in Dickinson. I'm going to go
get a notebook.
And I'm going to go get a notebook. That's my plans for the day.
I like it.
Yeah, so I told her about it.
We have plenty of new unused notebooks at every RCC store.
Y'all do? Y'all have notebooks there?
Yep.
I could have. Okay, next time.
Yeah.
I could just go get another one.
They have everything. That home store is my favorite place.
Yep.
I have purchased so many pieces to put in my house because people donate all the time, and we have a lot of people with really, really interesting taste in Galveston. So it's amazing. If you like mid-century
Really
modern,
unique,
this is your place. So
yeah, mid-century, beachy, and they get furniture every morning. They're delivering furniture every morning.
It's all donated? People
Monday
donate
through Friday,
furniture?
yes.
Oh yeah, and they'll pick up for you.
We will pick it up for you.
So, okay, I have something we want to get rid of, don't have a truck or a way.
We have a big box truck and
Pick it
movers
up.
that will come and get it from you.
Cool. All right, so we got like 10 seconds. We can go back. I'll make sure we introduce you guys at the beginning, and then we'll go. So here we go.
In Abundant Life Christian School, 409-935-8773, or email abundantlifechristianschool@alcc.org.
Good morning. It's 9:15. This is KHEA Radio.com, 99.5 FM. It's Kickstart. My name is Gardy. I have guests in from the Resource and Crisis Center of Galveston County. I got Jessica. I got Taylor. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great. Thanks for having us.
I'm glad that y'all are here. So we had reached, I think we were talking about this with you, Jessica, how we were connected to that store in Lamarck. I think that there was a gentleman there working at the time, had messaged us because we do this thing called Shine on Lamarck, and where we feature different things. And the Sugar Oak is the management company of that. And we did a thing on Sugar Oak, and then we did Barcenas and some of these other ones. He was like, hey, we're here too. RCC, resell. This is what we do. And we can never make it work to bring him on the show and get him in and all that stuff. But I'm glad that we can do this now.
We are too.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So there's a lot of stuff that y'all offer. There's a lot of resources. I think we can go through and just talk about some of the things that y'all do.
Okay. So we offer services to, our clients that are in our residential or emergency shelter, but we also offer the same services to our non-residential clients. So a couple of our really big programs are our therapy program. We have licensed therapists. They provide individual, family, child therapy, group therapy, anything from your traditional psychotherapy to more art holistic groups. We also have, it's a team, it's called our Crisis Intervention Prevention Program, and they work very closely with University of Texas Medical Branch and the forensic nurses for when victims come into the emergency room with sexual assault, domestic violence, the hospital calls that 24-hour hotline.
Mm-hmm.
They're called. They work 24/7, and so they come out to the hospital and provide advocacy to the client from start to finish, as long as the client needs, and then they can come into our services after. We also have a really great legal team right now that works with anything from protective orders to divorces to child custody. We also have case management for both residential and non-residential clients. Anything from referral, support, financial assistance, housing assistance. Right now we have some education programs so women can come in and get the fast track to that CNA license. And then we also have advocates who provide more hands-on, just immediate support and services to our women and specifically to our children, because we do have a lot of children in services as well. And then we have outreach and prevention, and they go out into the community. They talk to schools, they talk to businesses, whoever needs it, just to raise awareness, provide preventative services, and then fully functioning admin staff, our financial people, our grant writers.
All right.
The really important things that make us
Keep the
run.
wheels turning.
Here's a question that came in. Actually, there's two questions that came in. One person wanted to know what the hours are, and I'm thinking they're talking about the stores, for the RCC resale stores.
So at all 4 locations, it's Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Okay, and that's Monday through Saturday, 10 to 5.
Yes.
Cool, okay. And so then the other question, this is from Councilman Fidencio Leja with the city of Santa Fe. He's asking, what services do they offer for veterans? Is there anything specific for veterans, or y'all offer everything is available to them as well?
So if they have been a victim of domestic violence, sexual assault, or human trafficking at some point, any point in their life, they are more than welcome to access services. Unfortunately, we don't. If you're a veteran, I do under PTSD, trauma, it's all the same. But because we are grant funded specifically for that area of interpersonal violence, if you're a vet, we would help you find a resource for someone. For a place that provides those services to veterans.
Yeah, and a good place to reach out to would probably be the United Way, because they have so many different partnering agencies that specifically deal with, this and that and this, and they'd be able to point you in that right direction for sure.
Absolutely.
All right. So if somebody wants to get involved, donate their time, their money, what's the best place for them to do that? How do they do that?
They can go to our website. We do have an application on the website where you can apply to be a volunteer, and it's pretty fast. I think recently it's taken maybe just a couple of days, 2 or 3 days to hear something back. But they can go on there. You can come into our stores and get information, and then once there's a background check and all that. So. We will usually let the applicant decide, where their interest lies. As Taylor mentioned earlier, sometimes they specifically want to work at the stores, so we could always use extra hands, but it's fairly easy and quick.
And if somebody is in a situation where they can, utilize y'all's services, they can go to the website as well. What's the best way for them to reach out?
They can go to the website. That's one way. There is a button that will send you to the info@RCC email. They pretty much all go to me, so I will answer you as quick as possible, as long as I'm not asleep. I will answer you very quickly. But we do recommend that if you need immediate help, or sometimes it's nice to just really hear another voice, another human versus an email, you can always call that hotline number.
It's 888-919-SAFE, SAFE. So you can call that. It's 24 hours, and someone will be able to, like you said, sometimes it's good just to hear like hope on the other end, saying that there's an answer to that situation. The other thing about the website that I thought was really cool, at the top and the bottom, there's like a quick exit button. So if you're, sometimes I guess, sneaking around because you don't want to get someone mad at you, you can hit that button and it takes you away really quick. So that's something I was looking at y'all's website this morning, and I'm thankful I'm in a situation where I don't have to worry about that. Right. But that's not the case for everybody. So I saw that and I was like, wow, that's smart for y'all to offer that. So is there anything else that y'all would like to share while y'all are here today?
So I don't know if you know this, but it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, the month of October. So we're really happy that you had us
it's
come
very
here.
fortuitous.
Yes. So we have a couple events. set up for this month happening. So next week we actually are hosting yoga on the beach. I believe, what year is this? 10th, maybe? 10th annual yoga on the beach. It will be at 6 p.m. in Galveston, Stewart Beach. Bring your mask, bring your towel, bring your yoga mat. Totally family friendly, all level yoga. It'll just be a quick 45 minutes to an hour.
What day is it?
That is Wednesday the 21st.
Wednesday the 21st.
Yep.
I've never done, well, okay, first of all, I've never done yoga. And I've definitely never done yoga on the beach. I'm guessing if it's 10 years, do y'all participate in this event? Y'all do yoga out there?
I'm teaching it.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you participate?
I will this year.
That's cool. Okay.
And it will also be trauma-informed, obviously. So I will explain more of what trauma-informed yoga looks like at Yoga on the Beach. If you have any questions, send me an email at info@rcc, and I'll be able to answer that for you. We also have Walk a Mile in Their Shoes scheduled for Friday, October 30th at 6 o'clock. We'll be meeting at Fort Crockett on the seawall at 45th Street. It's a big area. We can spread out. We can social distance. And we'll kind of have people walking at a little, some pace in between groups. But that is walking a mile in their shoes. It's just to raise awareness. We changed it to their shoes. It used to be hers, but we want people to know that, this kind of violence is not limited to just women. It's men, it's women, it's children, it's families. It affects everybody. And so this is just, we're walking in solidarity. We're going to talk a little bit, as you start walking about why you're here, what you're doing.
How often do y'all have events? Is that something y'all regularly have? Whenever, I know this year's been,
Yes.
events have been canceled and stuff.
We were very nervous about doing it outside, but we were, we've been really, really planning to make it safe for everybody. There will be lots of hand sanitizer, lots of social distancing, not a lot of congregating for big speeches. So we're definitely doing it as safely as possible. We just know that people it's hard to be inside all the time.
Yeah. And it's much better to be outside. You have fresh air and you have all of the distance that you need than being cooped up.
Right. It takes your focus away from.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank y'all so much for joining me this morning. I appreciate you guys and the work y'all do.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for having us. We really appreciate it.
Y'all are welcome back for sure. Get some updates. Hopefully, we'll get through everything that this year has thrown at us and get back to being able to have regular events and everything else.
Like us on Facebook.
Yeah.
What is it? Which
Two
Facebook
different
is?
pages. So we have the RC Resource and Crisis Center page, and then we have a new. Some people are probably familiar with the old ones, but we're going to have a unified page. So it's RCC Resale Stores, plural. So we will have daily updates, information related to our stores and discounts and really cool finds that we have in our stores.
Awesome. All right. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. All right, social media, don't forget you can share this out and feel free to ask questions, and we'll get those plugged into the good folks at the Resource and Crisis Center of Galveston County. And that number, one more time, is 888-919-SAFE, or you can go to their website as well and find out all the information you need. All right, y'all be blessed.